All right. We are back. I'm so excited to be back. It's been so long. I've been waiting a long time to be back. It feels like an eternity since I've done a live show. And today we are going to talk about Danzig, Mr. Black Elvis, Devil Lock himself, Danzig, and this super perfect, amazing Danzig II album, Lucifuge. Here we go. All right. How's everybody doing out there? Good to be back. I have missed doing this so much, and you guys, I'm kind of obsessed with this album. Like, it's a little sick. I mean, if it's wrong, to be obsessed with Danzig, which it's not, because he's amazing. Look at him. This is exactly the picture right here that I have on my wall to the right of me, because he was so influential in my life. And I got to start off by saying, I feel like Danzig's a fit guy. I mean, clearly he's always been a fit guy. Little short in stature of a dude, but man, he is freaking ripped. So I'm gonna go with water for today because I think Danzig might like to keep it healthy. For the candle that I'm gonna light in honor of Danzig and this great album, it's not scented, but damn, is it awesome. This is it's supposed to be for Halloween. Okay, what does that mean? That means we go shopping for the house. And it's got a snake around it. It's unscented, so let's light that up. Yeah, I'm so happy to be back. You guys, I mean, this might be a long one. I wrote a lot of pages about this album because I've been waiting to talk about it for a really long time. It is one of my favorite albums that has ever been made. And cheers. I think it's pretty perfect. I can't find anything to dislike about it, So I had a lot to say. And I love Danzig in general. So I am wearing, I can't do a devil lock, so I did a little baby devil lock for Danzig. And I've got some super dark makeup going on. I did black around the eyes. I did like full on lips, and I've got my Danzig shirt. If you can see that, had it printed. Not specifically for this, just because I like to freaking rep Danzig around town. So there you go. Yeah. And this one, I mean, forgive me. I'm going to swoon. I'm going to gush. I'm going to talk about Danzig because I love him. I love his music. And I don't even care. I can't even. There's so many times when I was listening to this album, going through it track by track, as I do to make my little notes and everything. And I just stop at every song and I'm like, it's so good. It's so good. I'm like, this entire video is just going to be me going, it's so good. I was like, okay, Kate, why is it so good? Why don't you explain why? Danzig had the guts to name a band after himself. Let's go. We're going to talk about, his voice, his music, the bands that he was in, the meaning of Lucifuge, the tracks, the discography that he had with Danzig, because he's had multiple bands. He's got a lot going on. And before I get started, though, I just want to get a couple of things out of the way, because this is really important. So, first of all, no, I have never seen the video where Danzig gets punched, and I refuse to watch that shit. Do not send it to me. I don't want to see it. It's not funny. How dare you punch Danzig? I don't know who you are, but damn it, don't do that. Don't do that. I've never seen it. Yes, I have seen the meme where he's carrying the cat litter out of the store, and it's like, I've got something to say. I fed my kitties today. It's like, I was like, obviously Danzig has cats because they're a superior freaking animal to all other animals. And I bet I bet his cats are black. I mean, because, me and Danzig, we're like kindred spirits. He has black cats. I imagine I have a black cat. I'm just saying, we could hang out. We could probably hang out. Another video that I did see of Danzig is where, oh my God, this one was so hilarious. He like just randomly popped up at some point years ago. And it's like, he's sitting there looking very serious with the guitar. And then he like strums an E minor. And he's like, this is my favorite chord because it's evil. And like no hint of any kind of joking about that shit or anything. He was just like deadpanned, it's evil. It's like, okay, well, I guess yeah, it is kind of an evil chord. It sounds a little, it's a good chord at the end there, especially to like walk down with some blues riffs to that. It's like, Danzig, I have to say, I like a good D minor. Like a D minor. Because it's sad. It's a sad chord. And I specifically like the voicing of the D minor that's like in the middle of the neck of the guitar. So, Danzig has a preference. He likes his chords to sound evil. And that's understandable because, that's his whole vibe. Look at him. So who is Danzig in general? I just made some notes here. And then we can look at his Wikipedia page, go through it, talk about him and his history, and see what we can find out more specifically. But let's talk about his bands and his vocals. The first thing that people might know Danzig from that comes to mind is the Misfits. Like if you like punk rock, I'm sure you have to have heard of the Misfits. Maybe you have the Crimson Ghost Misfits tattoo, which I will say is a very difficult cover up. It is mostly black and a black face. And a lot of people have that. The Misfits, you may have seen the guys with the devil lock is like the hair that's hanging down in the middle, the little lock of hair that is like a point in the middle through the face. And, we'll talk about the Misfits when I go in, talk about like an album or two of theirs as it comes up, because we're specifically focusing on Danzig, the band, in this one album this time. But I will say, at least as a commentary, man, that hair is a commitment. It's like, dude, I don't think I could have the hair hanging down. So, kudos to them for really like owning that act. But the Misfits, was his punk band, great short songs, mostly about horror movies, easy to sing along to, lots of like woes and yeahs and belted out like long held out notes and like, hey, 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 whoa. It's like, easy, there's not a lot to memorize. And the lyrics are, they wanted to sing about this stuff anyway. Horror movies are not, I imagine. It's like ripping veins from necks, hacking the heads off little girls and hanging them on the wall, killing babies, zombies, Martians, vampira. And like, somehow with all of that gore, in the content of the Misfits music, it still like didn't come out in sort of a more disgusting or like scary way. It somehow still maintained that like bouncy, fun, pure, like punk rock sort of thing. So I don't know. It's just something that they like managed to do successfully, and that you're not even like grossed out by like the things that you're singing about. It's just good. It's good music. Now, after the Misfits, he was in a band called Samhain. And Samhain, if you look at it, if you don't know this, it looks like Sam Hain. That's not how it's pronounced. Samhain is a holiday that we have for witches, wizards, Wiccans. if you will, the magical folk, and it is around Halloween. It's like one of in the wheel of the year in the 8 Sabbats that occur during that time. Samhain is like the time of the year where the veil is the thinnest and where you should be able to maybe communicate like with the dead or the other side or the more spiritual realms and such. Now, I don't know if Danzig actually, is a practitioner, solitary practitioner, wizard, actually, magical person. I don't know. I mean, it's hard, I'm not sure if all of this is like just his stage persona or if he is really into this stuff. But I'd say, if it is just a stage persona and it's he's like the exact opposite out in public, this be a long time to like maintain this stuff and singing about these themes that he does. So, I would imagine he at least has like some sort of connection to it in a way. But Samhain, I would call this like the forgotten in between band, I think. They had 3 albums. I tried to get all 3 of them. 2 were a little more difficult to get. The first one, what is it? Initium? Inituum? Something like that. That one, was the most common one, and I didn't find that difficult. The other 2, especially, I think specifically the third one, is like out of print, and it was kind of difficult. I don't even think I have it. I got like 2 of them. But, not really recorded very well. Still punk, but a little like darker, added elements of goth and metal. So now we're starting to see, the development of his material move, change genres a little bit away from the punk rock and add in like these little goth and metal types, if you will. Yeah, a little foreshadowing of things to come. And then we move into one of the one of the greatest like bands ever, Danzig. Danzig named after Glenn Danzig. Yes. Yes. And here's where we see Glenn Danzig and this band really start to open up and bloom into something else. So I would say most people probably know the band Danzig by their one hit, Mother. Knew you really want my way. What they say, Mother. But the band is so much more than that, and specifically the first 3 albums. So we're going to talk about number 2, Lucifuge, but the first 3, Danzig 1, 2, and Danzig 3, How the Gods Kill, are awesome. Awesome. I die. I swoon. I gush. It's everything like on a serious. Well, here's my black cat coming in right now. Hi. Okay, you want to say hello? Oh, he's visiting. Hello. All right, I'll be done in a while. All right. Special visitor. So yes, Danzig's first 3 albums. Like, it's just on a serious note, it's everything that like music should be to me. Cause I feel like everybody might, have that thing that just strikes the deepest chord in their heart when they, maybe you have like a subtle idea in your head somewhere, unexplained, unarticulated, that you feel like is the ideal of what you want to hear. Your favorite genre plus a little flavor of another. Like if you could imagine it to be what you would want it to be, and when you put all of that together, like, and you come out with something, and you come out with, for me, Danzig's first 3 albums. Just great. Yeah. So the sound of them, there are many albums. Danzig, the band, did many. Like, and as that progresses and goes on too, I think he has at least 9 or 10, and it goes on to like you know, also becoming out of print, very hard to get. I had a little trouble. Man, I think I had trouble with number 6 and maybe number 8 or 9. And then he did an album where like he's just doing instrumental stuff. I didn't know that. I bought it and I was like, "Oh yes, it's more Danzig." And then I put it on. It's like straight, like sort of goth MIDI, like instrumental or something like that. Um, I think it's called Aria. But anyway, there's that one. And then at the end, Danzig embraced um the side where his nickname Black Elvis, and he did an album called Danzig Sings Elvis. Finally. Danzig is singing Elvis as he's always meant to. And it's really good. And so, there's a lot of material out there, but the first 3 specifically, like these are the ones. And if I had to describe the sound of these, I would say, we've moved away totally from punk rock. These are more metal, but it is, oh God, it's blues metal, like a rock blues metal. And it describes as like heavy metal, but I would say it's like a slowed down, sultry, groovy, like blues licks, big blues solos, like elements of like goth flavor in there, like metal riffs. It just to me is like if I was going to think of the perfect music, it would be some sort of like bluesy metal. So, no more 3-chord punk riffs. Awesome, well-placed guitar solos, great guitar fills and licks, and of course, Glenn's signature belted out bluesy crooner vocals. Very important. So, let's talk a little bit about Glenn's vocals. I was like, God, there's so much of an influence on me because first of all, he has an incredible range. Like, he can hit some super high notes, he's got that opera style belted out vibrato like vocal, and he can do the soft crooning. And for me, like his range is pretty much exactly mine. Like and it's great to practice too. And it feels so good, like when your voice matches somebody, to be able to sing at like the exact same level and notes that are most comfortable to your chest and through your nose. And oh man, boy, he's got a freaking voice. I would say for me, his voice is probably like, I'm going to put it super high. He might be up there in the top 5 at least of male vocalists. And that's saying a lot. Like, I was going to make a video about like the top male vocalists, but I feel like Jeff Buckley's up there with it. I don't know. I thought of a lot of other people, but yeah, big range, lots of vibrato, lots of belting out. His voice is not shy. It's powerful. Like he hits those notes and holds them. He drags them out. And like he's not afraid, to do like some yells and some screams. And like it almost wants to be cheesy, but it's not. Like it's not. Not to be. His signature style of voice, though, is almost sort of swallowed and muffled a little bit. Even though he does have such like a powerful projection, it's sort of like more of a closed throat in a way when he's on the notes. It's less sort of an airy breath through the nose quality in which like every consonant and syllable is totally defined. It's very chest voice, And the way that he sings and like pronounces things in that way can lead to like some sort of inaudible words and syllables, and things can be like even a little blurred together in his delivery instead of very crisp, you know. But that's him. Like that's him. It's one of these vocals that it's like at first you're like, what, okay. It's different. It's got his own style, but eventually like seeps into your blood and you're like, "Oh my god, I love this." Sort of the way like Billy Corgan's voice maybe at first you would find a little obnoxious, but it is like the voice that defines the 90s at the end of the day. Um, one of. But yeah, very Elvis. It is very akin to Elvis, and this is where he got his nickname, Black Elvis. He's like the dark side of Elvis. And his lyrics now with this band, Danzig, blues metal, goth blues metal band, Danzig, are still, we've lost the horror movie themes, but we're still on like always very dark themes: demons, hell, blackness, pain, gods, being a howling wolf. It's just awesome. So let's read about Danzig, the band. Let's read about its members, and then we will talk about this album and the discography and all of that good stuff. So let's read about Glenn Danzig first himself, because he really is, he's like such a presence. And the first thing I thought, I haven't read any of this, but the first thing I thought when I pulled this page to set it up was like, dude, they did to Danzig what they did to Michael Bublé. What kind of freaking picture is this? Like, of all the pictures you had of Danzig, you're going to use this? This is not doing him any kind of freaking justice at all right now. Like, pick a different picture. Pick the one I just had on the screen. So, anyway. All right. Okay. Glenn Allen Anzalone, better known by his stage name Glenn Danzig, is an American singer, songwriter, musician, actor, film director, and record producer. He is the founder of the rock band Misfits, Samhain, and Danzig. He owns the Evil Live record label as well as Veratic, an adult-oriented comic book publishing company. I didn't know that. And he's 71. And whenever I went to look up this stuff and was like listening to the songs and everything, they have a show. They have a show in Houston coming up like in a couple of months or something. It's just like, man, because I was wondering that, man, is he still active? That's impossible that he is after all this time. He's 71 and he's still out there. I was like, I really wonder if he can actually like clearly hit the notes, or his singing voice is up to par. Because I know, sometimes when people get older, they lose some of the lung capacity. But beginning in the mid-70s, Danzig's musical career has encompassed a number of genres through the years, including punk rock and heavy metal, incorporating influences from industrial, blues, and classical music. He has also written songs for other musicians, most notably Johnny Cash and Roy Orbison. As a singer, Danzig is noted for his baritone voice and tenor vocal range. His style has been compared to those of Elvis Presley, Jim Morrison, and Howlin' Wolf. Danzig has also cited Bill Medley as a vocal influence. Honestly, I don't know who that is. So we'll have to see. Rolling Stone ranked Glenn Danzig at number 199 on its list of the 200 greatest singers of all time. I'm going to have to respectfully disagree with that. Come on now. Okay. Born in New Jersey, Danzig began listening to heavy metal music at an early age and has described Black Sabbath, the Ramones, Blue Cheer, and the Doors. Yeah, I mean, the Doors, you can hear it, you know? You can hear the Ramones there, influenced the Misfit. Black Sabbath, those big riffs, you can hear that for sure as an influence. At age 10, Danzig began to use drugs and alcohol. Frequent fights and trouble with the law. He stopped using drugs at age 15. Okay. Appreciation for horror. Collected comic books. He started his own company to produce crazy, violent, erotic comics. Okay. He aspired to become a comic book creator. Wow. Interesting. He took piano and clarinet lessons as a child, taught himself how to play the guitar, started as a drum roadie. Self-taught vocal prowess gained him attention in the local scene. Okay. We're going to have to skip reading about the Misfits and Samhain just because we're not focusing on them today. So let's move on to Danzig the band. We'll just jump over to their wiki page. All right. So he goes, he's starting out in music, goes through his punk band. We'll learn about that later, like how that took off. I mean, but God, it's just like, I know that they still played with somebody else maybe as the lead singer. And it's just one of those things that, it's hard when you move on to something else, but you're still like completely linked to something that you had done in your younger years. I just have to wonder, like, do you regret it? Or, I mean, are you going to hate what you've done in the past? Are you proud of it? Or, sometimes I feel like people who win Olympic medals and then they have this one, like a golden Olympic moment when they're like 15 or something. It's like nobody can stop talking about it their whole goddamn life. I was like, I wonder if that's what it's like for Danzig. Like, he's walking around town and everybody's still talking about the fucking Misfits. It's like, dude, that was 30 years ago. I don't know. So, okay. But he moved on, He evolved. So, Danzig is an American heavy metal band led by former Misfits and Samhain frontman Glenn Danzig, formed in 1987 in New Jersey. Out of the latter band, its classic lineup included the eponymous vocalist and keyboardist, guitarist John Christ, bassist Eerie Vaughn, and drummer Chuck Biscuits. Oh, man. Earning a major hit with a live version of its 1988 song Mother, the band's musical style fuses goth atmospheres with blues-infused rock and metal. Yeah. As of 2023, Danzig has released 12 studio albums, 2 consisting entirely of cover versions, 2 EPs, 1 live album, and 1 compilation album. So yeah, let's look at their discography. It is a lot. So, Danzig, Danzig II, Lucifuge, Danzig III, How the Gods Kill, Danzig IV, that's the one, I believe that was the one that Mother was on. If I remember correctly. Or they had another one of the songs on Danzig 4, they were trying to push like in the early 90s. There was a video for it. I don't remember which one. at the moment, but I remember that video. Danzig 5, Black Acid Evil. 666, Satan's Child. 777, I Luciferi. Circle of Snakes, Death Red Sabbath, Skeletons, Black Laden Crown, and Danzig Sings Elvis. So, oh, thank you. Hey, Adam, what's going on? Yes, Can't Speak. That was the name of the song that was in the early 90s. Yeah, I remember that. That video was kind of maybe had like a little CGI or something going on with it. But so, okay. So, discography. Lots of albums, lots of material. But we're going to focus on album number 2, Lucifuge. So first of all, what does that word mean, Lucifuge? Let's look at it because I don't know. I guess I never really thought about what it could mean. But then as I was looking it up, I came across this. So let's see if we can take a look. Here we go. Lucifuge Refocale, maybe, is a prominent demon in traditional occultism. Originating from the 18th century Grand Grimoire, his name translates from Latin to "he who flees the light." Apropos for Danzig. As the prime minister and treasurer of hell, he governs all worldly treasures and riches bestowed by Lucifer. Yes. Because of his deep ties to classical demonology, he regularly appears in pop culture and fantasy media. Here's how he features in a few different contexts. 1. Occultism and demonology. In traditional grimoires, Lucifuge is one of the highest-ranking internal officers. He controls the wealth of the world and is said to grant riches and power to his conjurers in exchange for their souls. He commands Gothic nobles. Ooh, sorry about the mispronunciation of all of these, you guys. Baal, Agares, and Marbas. He is often described as having a goat's body, a long tail, and 3 twisted horns. Okay. So yeah, Danzig named his second album after He Who Flees the Light. And that makes a demon who flees the light. That makes sense for Danzig. So, let's see what else we got. If we want to look at the track list, I'm ready to get into some audio analysis of this album for sure. I mean, first of all, just to point out in general, this band, the original lineup of Danzig, are phenomenal. Here we go. That lineup that we just mentioned. John Christ, such a talented guitar player. Just insane. Actually, I have a friend who, funny story to mention, attempted to get John Christ to play at her wedding. Which is just like, why wouldn't you? If you're going to have somebody play at your wedding, obviously. Amazing guitar player. Just so technically precise in a way that, the difficulty that I find in his playing is that, it's one thing to do like an extremely fast guitar solo where you're running up all of these scales. It's almost in a way like the faster you play, the easier it can be because you have less time to stop and think about like the precision of your hand placements. But when you do, some of these like more slower solos, slower chord progressions, and just getting them dead on, like it's almost mechanical the way that he plays. And a lot of like, riffs that are very AC/DC like, short, choppy chords, and then like stopping, a lot of that. Such like big blues riffs, blues licks. Um, and God, the one thing I noticed, because as I was listening to this album, Lucifuge, I mean, it's one of the first times I actually sat and listened and paid attention, like fully with my entire brain, um, to all of the different components of the album, because most of the time I am so lost in like enjoying it, and I'm mostly like singing. So, a lot of a lot of it is just like rocking out. But what man, I will note this guy, Chuck Biscuits. Dude, he is a phenomenal drummer. Like he really he should be up there with I don't want to say Danny Carey, because like, I mean, we've got some guys that are like high up in the the pantheon, but like he's so good. And I mean, it's something like I guess I took for granted before and didn't really notice as much. So yeah, I didn't really pay as much attention, honestly, to a lot of the bass guitar on this album, because I noticed it follows along a lot. Like, I didn't really find it to be an album where the bass lines were specifically showing you like what a great bass player this person was. And he may be like an incredible bass player, but it was a lot of like supportive action on this one. But I would say this album, let's get here. There we go. Yeah. This album to me is perfect. It's just perfect from start to finish. It's in general, it's exciting, it's dangerous, it's sexual, it's powerful. It's like everything attractive to rock and roll and music in general that like music should be. When you listen to it, it gives you that feeling inside of like, oh, right, this is why I do this. This is why I want to feel this. It just makes you so like excited to listen to. And I will say, it's well recorded. Like it sounds great, when you compare, especially if you compare it to the Samhain material. And I mean, the Misfits is actually, surprisingly recorded very well too. But this sounds great. There was a version. I don't know what happened upstairs at one point. I was listening to it through Spotify and like one of my Echo Dots up there, and it was getting I would try to mess around with the settings, but it sounded like a lot of like over compression or some sort of limiting. I was just like, oh my God, this is a garbled like digital version of whatever, whatever. So I don't know. When I pulled it up again, it seemed kind of fine. But if you, to the point, if you pull up these albums, any of at least the first three of Danzig's albums, and you happen to think, wow, this isn't recorded so well, depending on what you're listening on and the service that you're listening through, I would suggest that is not true. The CD versions are perfectly clear and, have a lot of audio material available in the files. There's not like too much squashing. There's not too much limiting. There's not like digital distortion or like anything going on. It's very pure and open and clean if you can get the right versions of it. So keep that in mind if you listen to it and it comes out like that for you. So yeah, let's read about it a little bit before I start to break it down and do some hardcore nerdy audio analysis, cuz like I did. I can't help it. Like this one, some of the albums I've done here, like I've gone, picked a few songs and I'm like, all right, well, I think I'm getting the point. Like I went through every single song on this album and made notes. So let's read about it a little bit first though. Danzig II, Lucifuge, is the second studio album by American heavy metal band Danzig. It was released in 1990 on Deaf American Recordings and was reissued in the US and UK in 1998 by American Recordings. Lucifuge was recorded at 3 studios in Hollywood: Hollywood Sound Recorders, Larrabee Sound Studios, and Summa Music Group over an 11-month period between June of 1989 and May of 1990. Up to this point, it was the longest time Glenn Danzig had taken to make an album. It was like less than a year. So that's funny. Imagine you like recorded the Misfit stuff in like 2 months and people are talking about it 40 years later. It's like, dude, it was 6 weeks. Lucifuge has a pronounced blues influence, yeah, that adds a sinister edge akin to records by Howlin' Wolf or Robert Johnson. Yep. Who have both been accused of playing the devil's music. Thematically, a number of songs throughout the album ask questions about the concept of evil. Glenn Danzig said that the song Killer Wolf is my version of an old blues song about a guy who wolfs around the door of every girl in town. Glenn Danzig has described I'm the One as another blues song about a guy realizing his destiny. That song's so good. Yeah. I'm the One was originally recorded for Danzig's debut album, as John Christ explained. We actually recorded I'm the One for the first record, but we decided to save it for this record. It fit the mood of the second album much better. Yeah. Okay. Oh, yeah. The Challenge of Riding Her Black Wings. What a freaking another great song. I love that song too. I love every song on this album. Blood and tears, misery. Yeah. All right, let's look at the track list real quick. So we have 11 songs on this album: Long Way Back from Hell, Snakes of Christ, Killer Wolf, Tired of Being Alive, I'm the One, Her Black Wings, Devil's Plaything, 777, Blood and Tears, Girl, and Pain in the World. So good. So good. Yeah. Yeah. The musicians are talented, great guitar playing, good song construction, good variety in the songs. I did note, you're not getting like the same type of song throughout the entire album. Some were like rockin', super straight rock and roll. You've got ballad in there, slinky blues. The riffs, like I said, more AC/DC style where it's just choppier chords, stop. Great variety. And God, just great guitar solos. Just such a great guitar album. Yeah. Yeah, there it is right there. So let's go through and talk about each song. And I am going to break it down and nerd out. I have some notes that I made. Tell me, you guys, if you pull up the album, listen to it again. If you've never heard it before, listen to it for the first time. Let me know what you think. What's your favorite song on the album? Is Danzig in the top 5 great male vocalists of all time? So, all right, let's start. So, oh God, it's so good. It's just so good. I get excited just thinking about it. It's so freaking good. So, Long Way Back from Hell, the first song, the album intro, it's like revving up, it's like revving up an engine. No that rock and roll build up with the drum clicking off, and then the big drum fill comes in, and the guitar notes like hell, and then Danzig's like, hey, and you're just like, oh, dude, we're taking off. we're going on a ride, and it's like, you're just like, oh yeah, this is about to rock. And then you've got like a big metal riff, Danzig's great belted out vocal, and he's like, do you want to take a life? Do you want to cross that line? 'Cause it's a long way back from hell, and you don't want to go with big drum snare, and you're just like, yes, I do. Yes, I do. You're like, yes, I do. Glenn Danzig, I want to go to hell with you. Take me to freaking hell. Like, you just get so excited with like the rock and roll. You're like, yeah. And the way he pauses there, wanna go with me. So rock and roll. Like, it's everything in life that gets you in trouble. It's like that feeling. You're like, yes, I do. Yes, I do. I want to go to hell with you, Danzig. Let's see these lyrics. Got something by your life. Do you want to take a life? He's like asking you to come with him. Yeah. Yeah. And then, so yeah, no, it's just a great opener, like rock song. It gets you into the album. It's that first big opener that a lot of great rock albums have. And then the guitar solo comes in. It starts at like 2 minutes and 30 seconds. And you're just like, fuck. I mean, sign me up for my ticket to hell. Like, are they playing guitar solos like this in hell? Because this is where we're going. It's so good. That solo is just, it's such a well constructed solo. Like, it starts out, on the lower notes of the scale, and it like goes through the licks, and it moves up and it holds on that highest note. I was listening to it again this morning and having the analysis of it, and like it was making me freaking sweat. Like, it's just so good. That's what life is about, right there. And then like any good album, I appreciated this too. It goes straight into Snakes of Christ. So it's like you're revving up, you have that great rock song, it's kicking off, and then you're like, yeah, awesome, straight into the next one. So you don't have like a minute to pause or breathe. It's like we're going into it. And it slows down into this metal riff. But it's not like, it's not too metal, if that makes sense. It's still sort of like an accessible sort of rock metal. Like, oh, Adam says he likes her. I know, I love that song, Her Black Wings. So good. Yeah, I agree. It's so good. At 2 minutes, 46 seconds, in that song, Snake of Christ, like the whole same metal riff shifts down a few notes and plays like from there. It just, it gives that like, when you change keys in that way, you're playing the exact same thing, like starting at a different note. It like reinforces the same theme that you're going on, except that like it's on a different level, and then you move back up to the exact same thing. It's just great. Very metal. And then one thing I noted about this song in particular is the time signature. So I think this is 3/4, at least from what I can tell. So, that's another thing. Like, when you have punk rock, you're very much confined to like sort of like simple chord progressions, continuous, a 4/4 timing, but you want to add something else, you want to make it more complicated, maybe you're going to add in a 3/4. And then those noises that they do with the pounding, that sound like sort of a like chain gang march. Um, I was gonna like listen to this on the bigger JBL so I could like try to define exactly what was going on more. But I feel like it's like a tom hit and like snare with a crazy amount of reverb on it. And then there's something else that they're hitting in with that, like to combine with the sounds. That's my guess. There's like something else that's being hit there. But that was really well done. So then, we've got the big rock and roll opener. We've got like the slower, more metal song, and then it moves into the third song, Killer Wolf, and it's like very slow, slinky rock and roll, like sexy AC/DC. Um, again, it's just so good and pleasing to sing to when he's like, make you howl till the sun comes up on the wall. Feels so good to like belt that out. And then the bluesy guitar comes into it right after that. It's like, oh my God. Is it really? This is what music should sound like. Like they made it, you know? That's perfect. It's perfect. And then Tired of Being Alive, track 4. One thing I appreciate, that's what I was saying about the drums earlier, is the tempo of this album. Like, it'd be easy to make it more metal, like purely to that genre, or more punk rock. But since it has like that blues metal, and that's what really makes it shine and gives it that difference. You're not being confined to like a strict metal genre where you would have to. You've got those blues rock flavors to it. And with Tired of Being Alive, it's like slower and grooves and like slinks through it. And then, yeah, again, great, same thing, noting here, great drumming. Like, it'd be really easy to speed up or get off tempo. That's what I noted when I heard this. Like, rather than have the maturity to understand this music for exactly what it is. Because, like, it takes a lot of like holding back and grooving to that beat at that level. Yeah, it'd be very easy to rush through that. So I appreciated that. And then in this song also, I noted great harmonies. Tired of being alive. Harmonizing with himself. Of course, there always were like great harmonies and backup and repeated vocals like in the Misfits. And that was part of like their charm and appeal to the punk rock. But here you get like a different sort of subtlety with this song. So, well done. Well done there. And in this song, again, another great blistering guitar solo. It's like if you love guitars and if you love the blues, it's so good. So then moving into number 5, I'm the One. This one is just straight blues. And this song is pretty freaking genius. Like I think. It is mainly because it's just guitar and Danzig's vocal and the drummer like tapping the hi-hat. So the one thing that I can note about that is that when you've got something that is that stripped down with not anything else around it, like vocal, guitar, clicking little beat, you really get to see exactly like the talent of the performer because there's nowhere else to hide. Like you've got to get that right, and especially if this was recorded in like 88, 89, 90, you're not going to have all of the like computer manipulation that you would have as time goes on. Like Danzig's got to be able to sing, and John Christ has got to be able to play guitar. She's going to record it to tape, and like that is what it is. Yeah. And when I was listening to this one, I noted like I'd love to know exactly what guitar he was playing, because it doesn't sound like fully acoustic, but you can actually hear like all the pick noise as he's playing, as well as like the clean electric portion of the sound, and maybe like this little like baby touch of distortion. But yeah, nowhere to hide. Um, and I mean, when you only having three things too, like I'll be damned if it's perfect. Everything on it's perfect in timing and execution, steady, no flubs. Awesome. That's a really good showcase of that talent. So, all right, here's one of our favorites. Track 6, Her Black Wings. And so now we bring it back down to like slow bluesy metal, heavy metal riff, grooving along. And as I was listening, I'm like, I think I detect a piano in this song. And that's what it is. It's reinforcing the chords in the choruses, if you listen to that. And it's giving like a little more goth feel right there, like adding that piano as a reinforcement. Yeah, and I said, I love this song. It's a great song. Because it's got everything. Like it's got muted riff, like the muted metal riff, great solo, great solid slow drumming, and then call and response with the vocals in the chorus, like goth, blues, metal. Under her black wings. Oh, under her black wings. Dana. Yeah, that reinforcement there. So good. So good. Like every bit of this album is just, I mean, you can tell that like people had a lot of attention to detail, and they're very intentional in like trying to make something that had a lot of variety in this way. And I definitely appreciate that. So track 7, Devil's Plaything. Listen to the arpeggios it opens with. This guy's such a freaking great guitar player. They're so steady and like cleanly played. As like I said, it's almost machine-like. And then you get the softer version of Danzig's vocal crooning in, and then the guitars slam in with these big chords, and Danzig's vocal gets more powerful. If you don't want pain, you don't understand. Oh, so freaking such a good lyric. Oh man, I know. That's awesome. Yeah. It's so good. I haven't noted as much about the bass line, as I said, in this album, but I like the way on this song, when I started thinking about it, like they kept this as straight plucked repeated notes here. It's sort of like meditative and drone like in a way. Dum, 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 dum. Like sometimes you just need those bottom notes to like round out things instead of showing off your bass playing. Like sometimes you don't need the bass to act like a like a lead guitar. Sometimes you just need some bass to hold down the bottom. So nothing wrong with that. And then on track 8, 777. So here's what I noted as I was listening here. Same thing with the guitar here as in I'm the One. And so this is my guess. It sounds to me like they have one mic on the amp and another on the guitar itself, because there are distinctly separate sounds and they delayed one of them from the other. Like you can very clearly hear that clean picking blues metal guitar, and then another just guitar and vocal. Yeah, it's like you hear the pick noise and then you also hear like the electric bit of what is going on there. And Danzig's vocal goth crooning, and then the slide guitar and the bass and the drums come in. It's like, And then so moving on to Blood and Tears, this is track 9. So here's our ballad, and you got to put a ballad somewhere. Or you should maybe. Sweet little dark ballad. Crying blood and tears. Yeah. Picking the arpeggios, and then Danzig's soft crooning, and then piano again to fill in those chords. This song is very 50s ballad. Like it could have been, if it didn't have the goth piano and the dark lyrics and like all of that other stuff, this could very easily be like just a straight 50s ballad. You've got some organ keys that I heard in there and slow bluesy guitar solo. Crying, you cried 1,000 tears, darling, don't despair. Ugh, heart still bleeds. Yeah, so good. So good. Okay, track 10, Girl. Now we're getting back to this AC/DC type slow, choppy play chord stop. And like grooving slow rock beat. And yeah, on this song, what I noted on this is like some of those notes that Danzig hits are incredible. Hey, let's climb too high, the world to reach us, girl. It's like, yeah, I can hit that, but like I am also a female. Like his range is incredible. It's so good. And also of note on this song, when he says, hi, let's look it up in the lyrics for this. So, let's climb too high. Let's climb too high. Shit. There's a lyric that he has where he says, high on fire. Oh, fly on fire. To your mind. This is like not. I don't know if this is wrong or what I was thinking was wrong or like if everything was wrong. But it was my understanding that there's a band called High on Fire. And I think they're a metal band. And I always thought they got the name of their band from the lyrics of this song. But maybe I was wrong about what the lyrics were. So, I mean, who knows? Like some of this stuff might not be right either. But so, final track, Pain in the World. And then, it's like you want to bring your entire album home, you've got to bring it back together. And like what I noted on this one in our great finish here is like, man, the drums, great drums in the intro, the tom rolls, like just freaking great. And then you've got Danzig's soft goth crooning, and then he hits out of belted out notes. Yeah, great drums on the rolls and fills throughout the whole song. It's just really prevalent. And then at the end, it's like, it starts out goth. Let's come to the world. Drums are so good. And then all of a sudden towards the very end, the song speeds up and it starts to really rock until like the guitars just go off towards the end of the song. It's like, what more do you need? It's like you've got goth going into rock. It's perfect. It's a perfect album. Like, it's freaking perfect, man. It's so good. Ugh. Yeah. Let me make sure I covered everything, because, like, I don't know. I feel like I could gush about this album and Danzig in general for, like, how long have we been going now? A little over an hour? Man, I thought I was going to go for 2 hours for sure, because that's how much I love this. But so, yeah, if you haven't heard Danzig, now's the time. Now's the time to change your life by listening to Danzig II, Lucifuge. And tell me what you think in the comments. And, after you listen to Lucifuge, you can follow that up with Danzig III, How the Gods Kill, because that is also a fantastic album. And it makes me wonder, this combination of genres, the blues, rock, metal, with a little bit of goth influence there. Why have we not seen more of that or heard more of that? I just feel like the combo of blues metal, it's a good thing, and there should be more. So yeah, as it goes on too, I mean, I'll probably jump to like the end of Danzig's discography and do another one of those, mainly because like this one I'm totally familiar with. I didn't even actually have to listen to it. I could just probably imagine all of everything in my head. But those later albums I've not heard, and I know he went off in some different directions, so that's going to be interesting to explore and see like how it evolved for him. But so anyway, for now, Adam is saying the first 3 albums have recently been re-released on vinyl, as they should. Yeah, vinyl, CD, MP3, streaming, full version, your mama's house. The shit should be, the shit should be everywhere. Paper it all over the fucking corner. Yeah, great stuff. All right, everybody. This is going to be it for me for now. I think the next one that I'm going to do is going to be Def Leppard's first album called On Through the Night, because they had like a heavy metal album before the drummer lost his arm. And I want to give that a listen. So I think that's what we're going to do next time. So until then, rock on.